live.
All right.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's see. Oh, look here. We already got people on, Hunty.
Yes.
Hey, y'all. Hello, 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 everybody. All right, so I'm going to be looking at the screen. I'm going to be looking at my phone, trying to keep up with everything, posting stuff in the thread. Give everybody some time to come in. I'm excited. You excited, Coach TBag?
Yes, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. We trying new stuff tonight. All right, so okay, I'm gonna keep it on mute on my phone. Hey y'all, say hello as you come on in. We're using StreamYard. Look at here, look at here. I should have put this on silent. Yes. So come on in, everybody. Let me know you're here. I'm using a new platform. So what I need for you to do is there's a link. There should be a link that shares with you how you can actually engage with us on Facebook so we can see who you are. Because if you don't click on the link, it says something about StreamYard up above at the top. Let me put it in front of there we go, up at the top. We won't be able to see who you are as you come in. So if you don't mind, go ahead and click on the link above. Let us click on it, give permission to show us who you are so that we can see who you are. You can comment, but we're not going to see who you are unless you go ahead and give permission for StreamYard to share your information with us. So y'all come on in. I know this is not my typical Transformation Tuesday, even though I'll be back on tomorrow to do that. But I wanted to take an opportunity to just love on a good friend of mine. She's like my other twin because we have the same birthday. But also she's a client. She is a client of mine, and I wanted to just love on her and share with you guys some amazing things that she's been doing, and also share with you all how you can join in and be a part of the movement, and get in position to fulfill your purpose. So I'm excited to share this information with you all. I just got a text message, so I'm gonna let them know to quit bothering me. And I'm gonna put this on Do Not Disturb. How about that? That's what you do. All right, so come on in. Let us know who you are. Say hello as you come in, so we can acknowledge you and see who you are. And once again, I appreciate you guys for taking the opportunity to join in with me. This is a case study to just let y'all know what the great, the amazing Coach Tajana Bagley is doing over there in Texas, honey. And she's handling her business. She's doing some great things. I'm so proud of you, Coach TBag. I just don't know what to do with myself. I'm so proud of you. So we're going to talk about what she's been doing, what she's been up to. This case study, you guys, and I'm going to stand corrected on the number the number that Coach TBag actually made, the amount she actually made in less than 24 hours. So I stand corrected. It is over $1,200. in less than 24 hours and counting.
Yes.
So I'm so proud of you and wanted to share with everybody else, how you are and have been positioned for purpose. And we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to share with others how you can do the same thing. So now that I've given it some time, we're about 5 minutes in. I want to take an opportunity just to introduce myself. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, I'm Candace B. Woods. I deem myself the mindset architect. And I absolutely love what I do. I've been blessed now. 2-year anniversary just came around for my business.
Whoop,
Praise
whoop.
God. And I have had the pleasure of being able to help women, Christian women, professional women, to shift from dreamers to visionaries, and to design, plan, and develop a compelling vision for their life and business. For those of us who choose business, Coach T-Bag chose business, and so we helped her learn how to use her pain for purpose and get in position so that she could help others and help bring other people out, bring other people through, share her message. And she's doing that in so many amazing ways. So I wanted to share this platform tonight to celebrate you and your accomplishments, and all that good stuff. So first of all, I do want to tell you guys how I met Coach T-Bag. How I met Coach T-Bag. Coach T-Bag and I. I lived in Montgomery, Alabama, for roughly 10 years, and right around year 5 or so, I think maybe 4 or 5 or so, I was blessed to meet the lovely Tajana Bagley. She wasn't Bagley then, but she's Bagley now. And I was blessed to meet her at Women's Bible Study.
Yep.
And we actually started our journeys of finding our purpose around the same time. And we met at Women's Bible Study. We were given an opportunity to attend a retreat or a workshop, a weekend retreat workshop thing together. We decided that we were going to be roommates, and the friendship just blossomed for there. We found out that we had the same birthday. We found out that we have so many things in common, and we were able to just really connect on a deeper level. We shared our pains and everything that we had been going through, and so we really and truly were able to connect on a deeper level, not just as friends and potential, colleagues, if you will, who were on this journey to figure out business. But I believe that we were divinely connected as sisters in Christ. And so I
Yes.
love that. I love your energy. She's so spunky. And as a matter of fact, you helped bring me out my shell, honey, because I gotta match your energy, honey. I gotta
Yes.
match your energy. So you help bring me out, if you will, because I can be a little reserved, little, professional, but Coach T-Bag really brought me out. Honey, she would rock the natural hair with the colors, and she would do her thing. I love it. And so we really connected on a great level, a deep level during that particular workshop that weekend. And so we have been rocking every since, even though we both moved back home to our
Yep.
home state. And we've been able to continue to connect and continue to love on each other and support each other. And so, when was it? When I started my business here in Georgia, I decided that I wasn't going to go back into the workforce just yet. I was going to pursue business, and I recall reaching out to you. I always reach out to you, right? Because I always have great ideas. I'm always gonna do these workshops and things like that, and I will always contact you. And I remember when I would contact you, you were like, "Girl, no," and and there were times when you even had other stuff kind of going on at the time. You were like, "No, I got this going on. I ain't with it." But a lot of times when you're in the midst of your pain, it is difficult to see that God has purpose. And
Yes.
I don't think I realized that you were still in the midst of your pain
Yes.
at that time. But God put it on my heart to continue to reach out, to continue to love on you, let you know that I was here for you. And so this time around, roughly last year around April, honey,
Yes.
I had just developed my new coaching program, the Destiny Blueprints. And I was like, you know what? I'll check in with Coach TBag to see. I'll just go see, if we're in a different place. So I reached out to her, and you were kind of like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. I'll let you know, right? I'll let you know." I was like, "Okay, that's good. That's good. That's a maybe."
Yeah. Yeah.
So shortly thereafter, I don't know what happened, and maybe you can tell me what happened or remind me of what happened. I don't know what happened. But I just know I received a call from you, and you said, "Candace, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready." And I said, "Okay then." And so I spoke with you just to pitch my signature course. I mean, my signature program, which was just the Destiny Blueprint Mindset Intensive at the time, and we were just going to strictly work on mindset. And we talked about it. You bought into it. You said, "I'm ready to go." We started doing the mindset, and then I pitched you my Destiny Elite coaching program, which consisted of starting as a speaker, being an author, also content creation, so many other stuff, right? And so you
Yes.
were like, not only did you say, "Let's do it, I want the whole thing," but come on now, Kirkland, you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. Honey, not only did she say, "I'm ready, let's do it," but she paid in full, in full.
It's
Now,
full.
if you are a aspiring coach and you're just getting started, people don't understand how paid in full just takes you to a whole other level, right? It just solidifies you. And in that moment, I was like, "Come through, Jesus." You paid in full for that coaching program, which is roughly a $2,000 coaching program. And so I was not only was I excited that I got a sale, honey, bless the Lord. Not only was I excited that it was paid in full, but I was so excited that you were now ready. And I could tell that this was a different coach. Well, you weren't Coach T back then, but this was a different Tiana. This was a different. You had a different mindset. You were in a different place. You were ready to be completely healed and whole. And honey, last year was a great year for you.
It was
It
very
was
good.
a new birth. It was a new birth for you, really
Yes,
and
it
truly.
was.
So that being said, so now I'm going to introduce to you all the amazing Tajana Bagley, affectionately known as Coach T-Bag. And I actually think I suggested that name, didn't I? I
Yes,
was
you
like, I
did.
kind of like that. Yeah. So,
You did.
so
I was
I give
against
a
it,
little
but then it
some. I
grew
give a
on me.
little some. So, but you guys, Coach T-Bag, Tajana Bagley, she is amazing. She is a abuse recovery coach, and she has an amazing story. I'm going to let her share a little bit about her story. her story with you all, but she has an amazing story. And over the past year, she has really and truly shifted from a dreamer, a woman who had a dream and desire on her heart, to now becoming a visionary where she is actively living out her purpose. She not only has written a book in less than 4 months, might I add. She recently, in less than 24 hours, sold over 80 books and counting, and has made roughly $1,200 in less than 24 hours. And I remember sitting here. I think I was doing a group session at the time, and I got a text from you. You were like, "Girl, like, honey, like, let me tell you what just happened." And I was so excited for you because I knew that this was what you needed to really and truly, because mindset, when you in those, mindset is an ongoing process. It's a journey. And
Yes.
so when you are really and truly trying to live out your purpose and walk it and live it out, you really and truly have to be in a place where you are continuing to grow, and you're continuing to walk it out. And sales don't always come when you first get started. And I know this was pivotal for you. As a matter of fact, even when we had the retreat back in December, I think that was pivotal for you as well, because you sold several books there. You spoke. Yes, you did, honey. I can remember you were standing behind that platform, and then all of a sudden you were like, "Forget this, look, let me go ahead and do this because I got this." And
Yes.
so, anyway, honey, I'm so proud of you. I'm so godly proud of you. I'm so grateful and thankful that God allowed us to connect. And so I want you to tell the people a little bit about who you are, what your platform is, and tell us a little bit about your book.
Thank you, Candace. That was a great 17-minute introduction.
Girl, you know I know how to rub my
Yes.
mouth.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Tajana Bagley, Coach TBag, and I'm an abuse recovery coach. And I work with survivors and women that's willing to leave, ready to leave their abusive relationship. So I work with domestic violence, and I help them recover. I help them get their life back, because so many people get stuck there and they don't recover. They keep reliving the pain and they don't heal from it, and they become a victim and never get to the survivor side. I met a woman that was I'm working with a woman right now that's been a victim for 20 years. She's been out of her relationship for 20 years, but she still has PTSD real bad, which you can
Mm-hmm.
have PTSD from a domestic violence relationship. It can get you stuck. So in
Yeah.
order to move on and heal and recover, that's what I do. So
All right.
I help people live out their best life. I help them live out their dreams. I help them blossom, see a change. I love to see that change in them,
Yeah.
and them start to believe in themselves. So a
Yeah.
little bit about me. How old am I? I'm 38. Oh girl, y'all wait, child. I don't know how I got here, but I'm 38. I have three biological kids and a bonus child.
Awesome.
All three teenagers, 17, 16, 15,
Come through.
and 7. But we handle we handle it. I got some great kids. I was in the Air Force for 8 years, so I'm a U.S. vet. And I doing my business full time, Bagley Consulting. Right
All
now I have a
right.
Yes, right now I have a Facebook page. You can go and like it. It's called Divine recovery from domestic violence. I'm just now getting started with that and just want to help people, like I said, just give them tips on recovery or healthy relationships, healthy options, and not and stay out of the unhealthy part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is my book, guys. Okay, you see it?
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
A Girl You Know, a survivor's memoir, how to understand, escape, and recover from abuse. What I found when writing this book is I found that a lot of people didn't know what domestic violence was. And I was one of those people. I was in a domestic violence relationship for 5 years. And it wasn't until year 2 or 3 until I discovered I was in a domestic violence relationship.
Didn't know what domestic violence was. And
I thought a domestic violence relationship was somebody hitting me in the face. And even if I got hit in the face, I would always make it an excuse. Oh, well, I'm not in domestic violence. Oh, I'm not going through that. But it's a lot of ways to be in a domestic violence relationship. And in that book, and I think my first chapter, besides my introduction, it's letting you know how to understand abuse and what different types of abuse is and examples of each. Like we have the
yeah.
physical part. Yeah,
Hmm.
like most everybody know the physical part, the hitting, pinching, choking, someone actually putting their hands on you when it's unwanted. We have the sexual abuse, about that one, the sexual coercion when you give alcohol or drugs to loosen someone one up or tell people that you're using protection when you really aren't, making you do things like have threesomes when you really don't. Emotional abuse, cheating, humiliation, putting you down, financial abuse. You messing with the coins. We don't like to be
Hmm.
messed with the
Hmm.
coins. Digital abuse. That's a lot that our teens are dealing with when from these phones, tracking
Hmm.
people, telling you who you can be friends with on Facebook, trying to see who you're emailing, trying to see who you in your DMs.
Hmm.
Intellectual abuse, mind games, making a partner feel unworthy, less than, put downs, pet abuse, threatening your pets, property abuse, destroying your property, breaking your windows, tearing up the house, different stuff like that. Psychological abuse, saying the abuse didn't happen, reverse psychology, doing stuff like that. Verbal abuse, put downs, insults, accusations, saying it's your fault. Religious abuse, keeping you from your religion. Um, repro- Cultural abuse, when you put down someone's culture or tell them they don't act like the culture is supposed to do, or gender roles or how a man or woman's supposed to act. Social abuse is telling you who you can be friends with, monitoring your phone calls, listening in. So those are a lot of different kinds of abuse that people didn't even realize. And that's something that I want to help getting rid of, that ignorance.
Hmm.
Ignorance is lack of knowledge. So that's one thing I love to do is teach that part of the
Yeah.
domestic violence. So in my book, I talk about how I was raped at 13 and really the psychological things I went through on my own because I didn't tell anyone until I was 26. So I suffered in silence for 13 years. So what does a 13-year-old really know about sex? A green 13-year-old at that. So
Hmm.
it's not a lot. So I suffered in silence and blamed myself. A lot of shame came with that and blame, stuff that I didn't have to go through if I would have just knew resources to seek help or would have just trusted my parents to tell them so they could have helped find help for me.
Hmm.
So I talk about what the recovery was with that, and I talk about my 5 year um, relationship and the ups and downs and trials and tribulations I went through with that. So it's a really good book, and the most important part is how I recovered. How I
Yeah.
recovered. Yeah, because that was like Candace said, when she was offering these things to me, I was still in my abusive relationship and no one knew because I didn't tell anybody. And I didn't seek help for it because at first I didn't see it, and then I was too ashamed to tell anybody. So I was going to church every Sunday, Bible study every Wednesday, like it was nothing. So I was still in it. And once I got out of my abusive relationship and started working on loving Tiana and healing Tiana and finding out who Tiana really is and taking down those barriers, as like, why did you put up with that? Why did you put yourself through that? Why did you think you weren't good enough? So it's questions like that when you look in a mirror and ask yourself, you have to be honest with yourself. Because if you're going to build yourself back up with brick so they can't do it again, you got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self-love is one of those things. Like, I had to learn how to do again. Even my dreads, like, I wanted dreads. And once I started recovering, I started growing my dreads because it was like a part of me. It was my healing. It was my like women when they feel like they want to be different, they change their hairstyle up, get your little color in there. Yes, that's what I did. Like, that
Yeah.
was a part of my healing. So, and my head wraps were too.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that. And look, we gonna talk about using all of that as products, honey. Okay, hang with your girl. We're gonna talk about that.
Yes.
But
So
I love your story. I love your story. Truly, truly. And I love. I'm thankful that I was a part of the recovery process. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like that I was blessed to become a divine connection, for you. And in so many ways, like I said before, it wasn't just necessarily me helping you through your recovery, because I didn't even really know the full scope of it all, because I didn't know that you were still in the midst of it when we met. But um but in so many ways we help heal each other.
yes,
We helped heal each other, and I'm incredibly thankful and grateful for that. So I want to take an opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the coaching process,
yes,
the mindset coaching process, right? And
yes,
so a lot of people, I don't think they fully know and understand what it is that I do. And I thought this
yes.
would be a good opportunity to kind of show a little bit more about what I do and how I do it. And I'm grateful to have this opportunity to do it with you, because I've been blessed to have so many clients and women that I've been able to connect with and help them to shift. Um, and you were one of the first to actually engage in the program that God had just given me to develop. And I was just starting out myself as a mindset coach. And one of the things that I learned through that process of becoming a mindset coach and learning what that was really all about, I learned that the best way to overcome something is to teach it. And so that's really where it started. And I took that with me, and I held on to it, and I take that with me with all my coaching clients. And I remember when we first got started in coaching, and you were sharing with me all of these limitations, these hindrances, these reasons why you haven't been able to get going, you weren't able to start. And there was something specific that I said to you, and I don't know where it came from. I guess it was the Holy Spirit, because I pray with y'all
Ooh,
before
I still
every.
know it. Yes.
And so there was something that I said to you that even I in that moment was like, okay, God, I received that from me. So talk to me a little bit about the mindset coaching, the process of it all, and your experience. Like, what was your experience? And just be transparent. You can talk about it um, as openly as you want to. But what was your experience in mindset coaching, and why do you think you needed it?
Okay. So the thing that she told me, y'all, that she was talking about is we were doing an exercise. It was, I think, my second coaching session, and she told me to write down everything that I think that I cannot do. Like, what is holding me back? What is blocking me? And I write down, I procrastinate. I'm this. I'm that. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I know enough. And she had me to reverse it. You are good enough. You will get through this coaching process.
Mm-hmm.
You are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You can heal from this. You can recover from this. And then she had me to say it every day. And the last thing that she had me to say was, people are waiting on you.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
I was like, what?
That's it. Look, you gonna make me cry, girl. Stop.
Now
Stop.
wait, child, wait. Now one time, now me, I didn't work with Candace there about 4-5 times. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always getting my money, and I be like, oh, I'm ducking, dodging, I ain't doing half the stuff. This woman told me that it's people out here that's waiting on me
Yep.
to recover and get myself together so I can help them get their self together.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all did something to me
Yeah.
right now. I got chill bumps.
Yeah.
There's people out there waiting on me to do
Yep.
what I need to do to
Yep.
get in place to help them. That was
Yep.
it. Candace told me that.
That
That
was
was it.
it.
I got to be there
That
for
was
my
it. And
people.
I really and truly believe that was it. And again, that was just something that in that moment I felt that God was telling me to say to you, but it was also a conviction for me. It was also what I needed to hear in that moment. And I recall
Yeah.
saying, your procrastination, the longer you wait, the longer you are delaying the deliverance of somebody else who needs what you have.
Yes.
And when it stops being about us and starts to be about somebody else, I think that's when the shift happens. Now some of us
Yeah.
can be, it makes us more afraid because all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I'm responsible I'm responsible for somebody else's deliverance or for somebody else to overcome. But when you
Yeah.
think about what you do, when you think about being an abuse recovery coach and recovering from being blessed to recover from something that other people have died from, other women have been killed from. They've been
Yes.
killed from the hands of their abusers or their partners. To think about how you were blessed
Bless.
to overcome. I remember talking to you right after you moved to Texas, back to Texas. And honey, you did it like a thief in the night because didn't nobody know nothing. Like you, I mean, like, nobody knew. And we can laugh at it now but
Yes.
back then it was like, oh my God, are you serious? That's what happened. That's why you had to leave. And I just remember my heart just being, just completely broken for you. And then when we started to engage in coaching together, and I said that to you, and it was like, that's it. And it was just like the light bulb came on for you, and you were set in motion. You got in position in that moment. And every task, every assignment, every exercise, you handled it, and you did it swiftly. You took it seriously. You handled business. I believe what we started talking about your book process and when we first started coaching process. I think I went over. You had already started to write your book, and you were telling me about it, and I was like, oh, okay. But we had not gotten to that point in coaching where we were actually talking about it. And you were like, look, I done wrote this book, I done got it done. I'm ready to talk about how I need to publish it. And so I was like, okay, cool. These are your sessions. We talked about it when you're ready, right? So we talked about it, and we went through that book process. And I don't think it took you a good 2 weeks to get everything done, and you had your book in your hand.
Yes.
Like, you, and I was just like, wait a minute, like, what happened? Like, what, what is going on?
Yes.
And I was, and you were like, and you sent me a screenshot of your book, and you were like, my book is done, it's here. You posted it, and even there were things that even I didn't necessarily teach you in coaching, but you anybody that knows me knows my coaching process. I encourage you to look up other mentors who are doing what you are trying to do. I encourage you to find other resources because I'm not the only one. I don't
Yeah.
know everything, and so I can connect you with certain resources, but it's important for you to also look for resources yourself. So you had found other resources, you had connected with another coach who was helping you with the domestic violence portion. You got a certification, you were working with other clients. You were just doing it, and you went from, I don't know if I can do this, to I got to do this because if I don't, somebody else's life may depend on it. And you made it happen. And so, honey, I don't even know what to say.
Make me
You know what
cry
I'm saying?
now.
And so, I'm just so proud of you because I know that, I know that it is because you said yes. And this is the thing I want everybody else who's listening and watching right now. I'm having to kind of look back and forth, you guys, and I'm not ignoring you all because I was hoping that the comments were going to show up on my live stream on my computer, but it's not. So I'm having to look back and forth at the at the at my page. But what I want everybody else to know and understand is that number one, purpose is a uphill battle. It's not something that you just necessarily are just going to decide and it's going to click in one day, or in one moment. For some of us, it's going to take, as Mike Todd said, God can give us a promise, and a lot of times we don't understand it. We have to go through a pit in order to get to the promise.
Yes.
And it is so important for me as a mindset architect, and I know it's important for you as an abuse recovery coach, to make sure that people understand, and you mentioned it, the importance of awareness. I heard someone say, you cannot heal what you will not reveal.
Yep.
If you're not willing to accept that this is a problem or this is an issue, whatever your issue may be, if you're not willing to accept that, then you cannot change it. And that is what's so significant for me as a change agent, as someone who just wants you to get it. I just want you to understand how important evaluation, self-awareness is in your process of change.
Exactly.
And once you got that, you hit the ground running and you have not stopped. Like you found love again. Bless the Lord. Honey, that was enough to bless my soul right there.
Yes.
Because we done talked about my struggles. You know what I'm saying? So, bless the Lord. It's on the up and up though. Praise God.
It's coming.
It's
Get in position.
I'm in position, girl. I'm in position. And so, but just to see God just giving you a new beginning, it was so inspirational to me, and I was just thankful to be a part of it, and to be able to see it unfold. Like it was just amazing to me how God was just beginning to unfold things in your life and behold, make all things new for you. And so I'm encouraged, and I hope that this encourages others, because I want you to understand how even if you're in the midst of a painful situation right now, even if you're in your pit right now, God is still working behind the scenes, and whatever promise he made to you, he's not a man, he's not about it. If he told you he's going to position you and give you a platform, then he will do that. And it's up to us to accept. You don't have to understand the process. You just have to accept the calling and trust God. That's
Yes.
the, you got to just trust the process, and know that God is going to do it. And so who knew that God was going to do all of these amazing things? But when you said yes, that is when you opened the door and you gave God an opportunity to make things new in your life. And so I want y'all to be encouraged. I want you to know that all you got to do is say yes. You may not even have it figured out. You may not know how he's going to bring you out. You know, when I went through my own situation, I had to move back home. I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it. I did not want to move back home. I was like, because I felt like that was that deemed me a failure on some level. But who knew that God was going to put me back into a position where home would essentially be my wealthy place?
Yes.
And I believe that
Yes.
that's the same thing for you. And so, y'all, if you don't want to move back home, if God telling you move back home, be obedient.
Be obedient. Be obedient. But let me talk about
Be
your coaching
obedient.
process. Let me talk
Yeah, go
more about your
ahead.
coaching process. So with Candace, she finds out what your goals are,
Mhm.
and she takes you step by step. Oh my gosh, she had this worksheet, child, that I hated. She had stuff like a like your target audience. Like me, I'm the kind of person, give me what I need to do and let me get to it. No, she not gonna let you do that. She
Mhm.
gonna get all the groundwork ready first. She gonna build your foundation first before you start on the house.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that is the most important. I went back to her and said, oh my God, I was trying to do a business plan and these people wanted this, this, and this. And I already had it because we did that in one of our first sessions. She
As Mimi
had
Lee
stuff like
said,
target audience, your selling proposition, positioning yourself, your distribution plan, marketing materials. And this one important thing, this is how I sold my books, y'all. She taught me what a tribe was. I really didn't figure that part. I knew my tribe was women, women around my age or whatever that's trying to recover from domestic violence or trying to get out of their relationship, trying to get, the courage to leave and resources. I knew that was my tribe. But the way I sold those 80 books, because I went back through my notebook. I have 2 coaches. And I went back through because I'm a note taker. I write everything down. And I went back and reviewed. And that got me. Your tribe. I'm selling to my friends, my family on like garage sale websites. That's not my tribe. My tribe is women survivors of
mhm.
domestic violence,
Mhm. Mhm.
even victims that's
Mhm.
getting to survivors.
Mhm.
That's my tribe.
Yep.
So I went on like 6 different groups that had a lot of followers. And I told them, hey, I wrote a book on my domestic violence um, relationship and how I recovered. Do you want to read it?
And
Because
that
I
was it.
had to.
That was all. You mean to tell me that's all you did? That
That's
was
all I
it.
did.
That was it.
That was it.
Come on now.
I
It
went
got
on
to be
there
harder
because
than that.
you can't sell on there. So like on your main post, you can't sell. So you have to find a way around it. So when they say
Yep.
yes, I post each 150
Yep.
people said yes. So each one of every last 150, and they still coming in, y'all. I put the
Yep.
link to my book. All you gotta do is click on the link and buy from Amazon. That's it.
Simple as that. Simple as that.
Simple as that. In less than
Simple as that.
24 hours. I just went on there because I hardly ever go on my Amazon and find out how many books I sold. So I was on the phone with I was on the phone with my other coach, and I looked, and y'all, 80 books in less than 24 hours. I was floored. And so Candace tell you, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Y'all,
Hello?
I had to hurry up and struggle to get ready. I had to bring them back to a platform for me. So, because so many people wanted to work with me, and so many people want to know, how did you write a book? How did you do this? How did you do that? So I wrote down their questions, and that's how you make your workshops.
That's it. That's it.
So,
and that's the thing about it. I think sometimes we make it harder than what it really is.
oh my God.
I even had a client recently, and we were talking, and she said this was far beyond anything that I could ever have expected. When we were working together, I was just like, well, how did things go? How are you feeling? And she was like, I'm blown away because I never knew that this was possible. I never knew that this was possible. And so I'm just thankful because, like I started my coaching program with just mindset. That was it. But then I began to think about everything that I've been able to accomplish. I've been able to establish a speaking platform. I've been able to, I wrote a book and I sold, 300 copies of my book in roughly 6 months, and these were all things that I didn't do on my own. These were God things, just because it was all just making sure I was connected and communicating with God on when and where and how. And there was a season, and this is another thing I want people to understand. There's a season when you might feel like you're not making progress. You might feel like you're kind of dormant and you're not making progress, you're not making money. It was in that season that I just surrendered to God and just continued to say yes and allow him to speak to me what he wanted me to do. And everything that God spoke to me to do, I wrote it down, I created it, but then I ran with it. Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain, and then run with it.
Run with it.
Run with it, right? Because if God gives you the vision, he gives you the plan, he makes it plain, this is what I want you to do, then your role at that point is to be obedient. That's it.
Because he gonna support you.
He gonna support you. What did Lady J used to say to us in Bible study? Where God guides, God provides. Where he directs, he protects. And so I took that with me and I remembered that and I just went with it. And so once I decided that this was what I was going to do, I created that program, and I'm just thankful and grateful that you took the program, that you applied it to your life. And even though it took some time, over time, you were able to apply it. And honey, you in full on business, Miss Bagley Consulting.
Yes.
and this is the other thing, because people don't understand that consulting wasn't the initial goal. It wasn't the initial dream. You had a bigger dream, and that's not to mean that God isn't going to take you there. But I was encouraged to just say, you know what, you got to start somewhere. So let's just start with writing a book. Let's just start with coaching or workshops from there. Let's start with the consulting part. Make income, bring income into your business. Begin to let businesses know that you are a profitable business, right? That you bring in income. Establish your platform and your foundation as the mindset architect. That mindset is the foundation. If you don't have the right mindset, and if you don't believe in yourself and that you can do it, then you're not going to do it.
Yep.
You're not. And so establishing that and working your way up, that's the way I do things. That's my platform. And so you did it. You ran with it. You took the strategy, one of many strategies that we talked about. You applied it, and it's really just that simple. It's really just that simple. because we do have to know how to work in groups, you know, and share what we have. But it's strategy, and I didn't learn it on my own. I got a coach. You know what I'm saying? I had someone who taught me how to do that, and now I pass it on to my clients. But the other part of that is you got to believe that what you have is necessary, and that
Yes.
what you have, someone needs it. And so once
Yes.
you got that in your mind, selling wasn't the problem, because you knew that you had what someone needs. And this is the other part I want to add, you guys. And I appreciate the loves, the hearts, and everything. I wish I could see it, honey, over here, and I ain't gotta keep looking at my phone. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for the hearts and the loves. But the other part about that is, we're in the midst of a pandemic,
Yes.
and and
Oh,
and
yes.
and and we are in a position right now, even though it doesn't feel that way. Right now, we're still in the midst of a pandemic. Okay, y'all. There are still people who are contracting coronavirus. There are people who are still having to stay in. There are businesses who are still closing. There are people who are still impacted and unemployed because of the pandemic. But
Yes.
here we are, roughly a week or so ago, in the midst of a pandemic. Um, you were in position. You decided to go into a group. There were people who are your tribe who need what you have in that group. And all you simply said was, hey, I wrote a book about my story of how I overcame domestic violence. And you had 150 people in that group to respond and say, yes, I want to know more about it. You followed through by giving them a link. Why? Because you already had it. You were in position. Don't matter how long you had it, you had
Yep.
it. And you took it, copied, pasted to each and every one of them. And you now see the return of just one simple click. One
Exactly.
simple post created a $1,200 plus turnaround for you in the midst of
Woo-hoo.
a pandemic.
Yes.
In
Yes.
the midst of
That
a
easy.
pandemic.
That
That
easy.
easy.
And
That easy.
I think that's what
Mhm.
people have to realize, that it's going to be a new normal. And for right now, our new normal is this internet. So
Yep.
if you want those coins, and you have to go along with the times, and you got to see how can you use your business online. Get
Mhm.
online. You ain't got to, I can't wait until, I'm going to have another speaking gig to make money. I got to make money right now because we still got to eat now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's so true. When I had my first cleaning business, it's so true that I found out what, if I don't grind, I don't eat me. Because at first I was like, oh no, I don't go door to door talking to people. I just send them my services and let them decide. Oh, I got hungry and I started going door to door. Hi, my name is
Mhm.
Tiana, and I do
Mhm.
this and I do that. Ways to help them. So you
Mhm.
have to put yourself in sometimes uncomfortable positions to do what you need to do to make your sales. And right
Exactly.
now we're in a
Exactly.
pandemic. So if that is online workshops, watch parties, lives, whatever you have to do to get it.
Yep. Get it. Get it. And again, even there were moments throughout the coaching process where you were like, I ain't finna do no live.
It was always,
Nah.
that was my barrier.
Yes, that was and you're not alone, because for a long time that was a barrier for me. Even now, to this day, I still get nervous right before lives. I mean, it just happens. You know what I'm saying? But I know that if I'm going to be in business, and this is the thing that shifted for me, once you get to a point where you don't have that fallback plan, you don't have, and see, right now we're in a situation where people have lost their jobs, and so you don't even have a fallback plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were some people are just now getting unemployment benefits, because when I don't even want to get on the soapbox about our president, but anyway, My point is, when you get into a position where you can only trust God, and I think that is the critical place that many of us have to be. Because having a job, if you have a desire, or God has given you the call to be an entrepreneur, and that's something I want y'all to understand. Our entrepreneurs who are out here bosses ain't supposed to be bosses. Some of us supposed to be in the workforce
Yeah.
following, somebody else's instructions. Okay. But there are some people who have been called to this, who have been called to be entrepreneurs, who've been called to be change agents, who have been called to be coaches and authors and etc. And we are called to this work. We are called to do this. And because this is a calling, because this isn't just, just something that we just have a desire to do because we want to be our own boss and we don't want to listen to anybody. Because of that, when you become an entrepreneur, God is your boss. When you a kingdom destinypreneur, and that's my group. When God is your boss, God is the one who directs you and guides you and gives you instructions and tells you who your tribe is and who the people he's called you to serve and to get in
Yeah.
position for. And so
Yeah.
that's what I do. That's that, and I the same way I'm talking now, I talk that way in coaching, correct?
Yes. And how many years did I run from that calling? How many years did I try to do something else
Yeah,
or turn my back? Well, I'm gonna work at the
yeah,
post office. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do no. Every time
yeah,
it came back,
yeah,
this is what he wants you to do. And finally, I said I'm gonna be obedient because it was a lot of shame and blame that went with who did I want to tell that my cousin raped me? I didn't want to tell nobody that. I
yeah,
didn't want the world to know that. That's one of them things you keep under
yeah,
the rug. Mm-mm.
yeah,
Who did I
yeah.
want to know that I was in an abusive relationship for 5 years? That was every time I spoke about it at first, I couldn't. First time I talked about it, Candace was there, and I was in tears. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't hardly talk about it. I couldn't hardly breathe. But now I talk about it like I'm talking about somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
healed. It's a part of
Yeah.
your healing. That thing you're
Yeah.
running from, the thing you scared of, that's the thing you have to talk about.
Yes. That's what God wants to use.
Yes.
That's what God wants to use. It's those things that we cry about at night. Those things that we suffer in silence about. Those
Yeah.
things that we are so afraid. That's what God wants to use. And the enemy wants us to stay quiet. He does not want us to use our voice. He wants us to stay bound. And so as a mindset coach, I talk about that and I use godly principles and biblical principles in my coaching. That's how I got started, and so I've continued
Yeah.
that even in my process. And I talk about that. I pray with each and every one of my clients. I'm thankful, and I know that you also have a counseling background. We both have masters and bachelors and masters in counseling, and so that skill set has really and truly helped me to be able to reach people from a different perspective and to allow people to talk and to share and to be okay with silence and things of that nature.
Yes.
And even as I talk about it now, God has put it on my heart to open Destiny University, which is my online platform where I am going to teach some of these skill sets to others who have a desire to be a coach and things like of that nature, so that you can learn how to use these skill sets to reach people. Y'all, we are in a time where people need us. They need us. And God is not looking at and considering how many degrees you got. He's not considering the labels
Exactly.
in front or behind your name. There are people who are hurting who need what we have. And in the midst of a pandemic, who knew that domestic violence was going to increase because people were sheltered in place and needed help? They needed something, and you were that someone who was in
Exactly.
position to give them what they needed. And so I'm
Exactly.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud. This is bigger than just you making the $1,200 in less than 24 hours. It's bigger than that.
Exactly.
You were in position to help someone who might not have otherwise had help. And so
Yes.
they were waiting on you. They were waiting.
Yes. Woo!
And so
Yes.
and you were there. And so I appreciate you so much for sharing your message, for sharing your story. Um, I love your book. It was beautiful, honey. And so and I'm so proud of you for everything that you're doing. I know that there's so much more to come for
Yes.
you. And so I'm excited about the group platform that you recently started to educate people about domestic violence. I know that you are in the process of starting your coaching services, and so I'm excited for everything that God is doing to you and through you and for you. And honey, sending you a
Thank
virtual
you.
hug, sending you a
I
virtual.
know. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
that being said, you guys, I'm so proud of Coach T-Bag, and I appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch tonight and for joining us to hear this case study and hear Coach T-Bag's amazing testimony, and also how God is using her pain for purpose. He's positioned her for purpose in the midst of this pandemic. And I
Yeah.
want you all to understand and know and understand that if God is giving you a dream, it can still happen for you, even in this season
Yes.
of your life. And so I want you guys to be open. All God is waiting on is a yes. That's it.
Yes.
He's
That's
waiting
it.
on a yes, and he will show you and guide you. And if I am blessed to be able to support you on your journey, then I am going to I take my calling very seriously. I believe that God specifically assigns people to my life in a season, and I'm gonna make sure and do everything that I can to push you and to make sure that you follow through. So that being said, I do want to take an opportunity. I would be remiss if I did not take an opportunity to invite you all to join me in my book in you workshop. It's a live workshop that I'm going to be doing on this Thursday. I'm going to take you through the exact process that I took Coach T-Bag through in order to publish her book, self-publish her book, and show you guys how to do that. I'm not going to say it's not a difficult process. It's a process that is designed for you to do to self-publish your book in actually 6 months or less, even though Coach T-Bag did it in 4, roughly. Um, and so it's designed to help you to write your book in 6 months or less and publish your book in 6 months or less. I'm excited about this live workshop. This is my second live workshop that I've done. I also have the Book in You Writers Lab, which is my group coaching program. I have 5 amazing ladies in their program right now who are going to be authors and launch their books in December of this year, actually around late November, early December of this year. So we're excited about that. So many other things to come with that. And so I wanted to share this live workshop. This is going to be the last time I'm going to do this live workshop for as far as the Book Inside of You workshop. After this live workshop, it is going to go to my online platform, Destiny University, which will be launching sometime at the end of this month. So I'm excited about that. So if you want more information about how you can sign up for the Book Inside of You workshop, here is the link. It's a bit.ly link, and I'm going to go ahead and post it here in the thread for you to sign up when you are ready. Um, actually, Yeah, actually, it's already on my page. So I already posted it on my page.
Okay.
I'll tell you a little bit about the program for those of you who you want details. I'm with you on it. I like to have details too. So let me tell you a little bit more about the program. So basically, this workshop is going to be a 2-hour workshop. It comes with an implementation guide, and I'm going to help you understand your vision, the significance of your vision for your book. And so your vision for your book is all about what Coach T-Bag just talked about. She not only wrote a book, but she also is considering other ways that she can begin to share her message and share her book. And so she not only established a speaking platform, she did an amazing job at the Live Retreat in December. And so she not only established a speaking platform, but she also is working on her coaching platform. She's starting her own tribe in her private group. And so this is what I mean by your vision. What are you going to do with your book? Are you just going to say, oh, I wrote a book and then be done? Or are you going to position yourself in platforms or in groups in selling your book on your website and things of that nature, so that people can actually receive and use what you have? So we're going to
Yes.
talk about your vision. We're going to talk about your book outline. Okay, so you got to have an outline. You got to know what you're talking about in your book, right? And so most times people try their hardest to work around their own story. But I'm going to encourage you to tell your own story in the book, and I take you through a process in my writer's lab. I take you through individual sessions so I can help you um, really and truly get specific about your story and pull out certain key points in your book so that you can talk about those particular points. Intentional writing time. I have set aside intentional writing time for you to come on. We go live on Zoom, and all we do is work. We work on our book. We get it done. We talk about it. And so I talk about how to use that intentional writing time effectively. We talk about resources to write, edit, design, and format your book. So we talk about that. We talk about your front and back book cover. And we talk about your publishing platforms that you can use. I'm working with a client right now who just wrote her first children's book, and her vision, and I can't even go into it for real, y'all, because it's just too good. I don't want to tell it. I want her to tell it. But she's writing a children's book, and she's actually going to be teaching social and emotional intelligence to other children using a virtual platform. And so she's going to actually write the books that she's going to use to teach these skill sets. So yeah, I mean, like I'm telling you, like there's so much that God wants to do. And so having a vision for your book is so critical. So we're going to talk about that process. Once again, you get a 2-hour workshop. You will receive a access to a writer's intentional writing time that's weekly for 2 hours, and then also you will receive an implementation guide. Okay, so you receive all of that in a live workshop for just $37. $37. I go through that whole process for you, and you leave with a wealth of knowledge on how you can write, design, and actually market your book. Okay, and so that's a very simple, it's a simplified process for you. Okay, Ina, let me repost that. So it's a simplified process, you guys. One that I wanted to make as simple as possible, simply because I do understand time is money. And a lot of times we can waste a lot of time trying to figure it out ourselves.
Ooh,
And
yes.
I did not want that for you. Okay. And so I want you to be able, I'm about to post it in the thread for you all. So there it is. Book inside of you live workshop is going down this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Once you register, I'll send you the implementation guide as well as the Zoom link. I'll email you the Zoom link so that you can have access to the workshop. So again, it's going to be on this coming Thursday. 7:30. This is my last live workshop for the year. It's going to go to my online platform when I launch that in roughly two weeks or so. So if you enjoy live workshops and this is your preference, then I encourage you to attend this workshop on Thursday. Otherwise, you're going to get a recording, which is still good. It's still great.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of information. You will not get that access to ask a whole lot of questions and things of that nature. But I'm always available. Most times you can always reach out to me in my email or just in Messenger or what have you. So I want you guys to be a part of this opportunity, and I want you to get in position to allow God to use your pain for purpose, even if you're in the midst of it right now. I felt that in my shana now, Coach TBag. Even if the midst of it right now, God can still use you. We have a witness. We have someone who just shared it. She was in the midst of it when we met. But God still performed. He still used her. He still brought her out. And now she's using her pain for purpose. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you, Coach TBag, once again. I appreciate you for taking your time to share your message and talking about your coaching process. I'm thankful and grateful that you allowed me to coach you and that you respected me and loved me and received what I had to offer. And so I appreciate you so much.
Yes, I appreciate you.
Look, and so the work continues because I'm coming for you.
Yes, please do. I'm
I'm coming for
ready. I'm ready.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So I'm excited, you guys. I'm so excited. Now, if you say, you know what, Candace, I'm not sure that I'm ready to write a book. Maybe I need some mindset help. Maybe you need some mindset help. Maybe you need, and I had someone contact me the other day and she said, you know what, I'm ready to write this book, but I need some help with my mindset because I too have been struggling with procrastination. I too quit in the middle of things and I don't get
Yeah.
why I'm doing it. And
Yeah.
so I say, okay, you're right. Let's do some mindset work. And I customize a plan for her to work with her on her mindset based off of what she was specifically dealing with right now at this particular time. And we had our first session recently and it blew my mind because God is just doing so many wonderful and amazing things. And so if you need mindset work and you say, Candace, I want to work with you in your coaching program, your mindset coaching program, just comment mindset in the thread. Comment
Yeah.
mindset in the thread, and I'm going to reach out to you. And we can schedule a clarity call so I can get to the root of what you got going on, and we can talk about what's the best method to begin to work on your mindset. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm over my time, but this was good.
Yes, it
This
was.
was so good. So I appreciate you guys for joining me on tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night for my Transformation Tuesday. I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about. Probably something along the same lines as I'm talking about tonight. And so I want you guys to get in position, even in the midst of a pandemic, even in the midst of chaos in the world right now. We still got work to do. And so
Yes.
everybody can't be on the front lines protesting. I said this in a post. It's everybody is not that's not everybody's assignment. Some of us need to be at home interceding, praying, crying, crying out to God. Some of us need to be working behind the scenes, creating strategies and methods and other things to get people out to these voting polls. Some of us need to be doing other things. Some of us need to be encouraging and uplifting and crying with and holding and hugging. Everybody got a role. Everybody can't be on the front lines. Okay.
Yes.
And so we all have a role. And so right now we need to learn what our position is. We need to learn, because yes, racial injustice and all of that is going on, but there are so many other things that did not stop happening just because of the injustices in the world. And it's amazing to me how, even the news stops talking about the pandemic now when we got all this other stuff going on. It doesn't mean that
No.
the pandemic is not just as important or not going on. It just means that the news is going to promote whatever the hot topic is at this particular time.
Yeah.
And so I do agree that all of this is necessary, but we need to be all focusing on getting in position and crying out to God and saying, okay, God, how do you want to use me in this season? What do you want me to do? And follow through. And so if you want help with that, contact your girl. I got you. All right. All right, Coach T-Bag, you have a blessed night. Have a great week. Continue to make them coins, girl.
Okay.
And continue to let God use you, okay?
Yes.
Love you so
Love
much.
you too.
All right, y'all
Bye.
be blessed. Y'all have a great night. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.